Hello everybody, Brandon Parker back again with another tutorial. This time this tutorial is going to be on Logic Pro X, the new update to Logic Pro 9, which is pretty much, if you know, Final Cut X, which is known as also Final Cut 10. So this is known as Logic Pro 10 pretty much. But what confuses me about Final Cut X is it skipped from 8, 9, from 7 to all the way to Final Cut X, which I don't understand why, but it makes more sense on Logic Pro X to be known as Logic Pro 10 because it was on Logic Pro 9, so that makes more sense. So this is what it looks like, so we're going to go right into it. And before I get way into it and all of its features, the main thing I really don't like about this so far is that you can't use your 32-bit plugins. Any 32-bit see this, and I really don't want to change any of this. So I was playing around with this earlier because I've been playing around with this for a while to get familiar with all the features and the layout of it. Pretty much it's just the layout that's really different with this so far. And I can't really use my Nexus, and I don't have Nexus 2 that's been out for a while, and I don't have probably the new Slayer 2 because the same company that made Nexus, which is RFB Nexus, made Slayer 2. I can't really use it at all because they're I guess they're 32-bit, and I didn't really realize that they were even 32-bit or not. I just had them, and I had FL Studio at the time before I even started using Logic Pro and got a Mac. So I was like, holy crap. So when I can't use this anymore, it's like, what the hell? And it's not there. I didn't realize they were only 32-bit. I didn't know they have separate. So nowadays, that's pretty much, be careful on what plugins you're getting. Make sure if they have a specification like a 32-bit or 64-bit on any program you're using, try to get 64-bit, especially if you're using a Mac. Try to get 64-bit. Because nowadays, especially with Final Cut X, everything is 64-bit now. So, which is fine because my computer can handle it. And even though it's not one of the new Macs with Retina display, because I've had this for a couple of years now, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, but when you can't use your plugins that you could use in Logic Pro, probably up to before this one, it's very upsetting. So now what I'm going to get into is the features, and I'm going to be showing you, since I can't really use my new ones, and they cost, like Nexus, it costs like $300 to get it, and all the plugins I had, that's why I'm still using the old version, because it costs that much. And so now that I'm going to have to wait, so I still have Logic Pro 9 installed, because I like Logic Pro 10 a lot, and I really want to use it and the plugin because it's got a nice setup. I like everything about it, and even though you're kind of going to be a little bit you're probably, for some of you coming from GarageBand and you only use GarageBand and you want to get into Logic Pro now for the first time, you're going to be a little bit upset. You're going to say, this still looks like GarageBand. Yeah, the layout still kind of looks like GarageBand, but it also still has a lot of the similarities to Logic Pro 9, except it's switched around a little bit, so you got to be on the lookout at that, and just play around with the features, and you'll see that it looks like Logic Pro 9 a little bit. Just the layout is a lot different. It looks more like Final Cut X and GarageBand, and also iMovie. So they're trying to keep everything looking the same a little bit, except, so that you can get used to all the features for all those new people. But for a lot of people like me, you're coming from the old stuff, so it's a lot confusing. So I know coming from old to new, you're going to be shocked a little bit. But so right here. So if you already have MIDI notes and you want to get to the piano roll, double click on this, or you go to here. Click on this, and this is the editor. Okay? So you do that. Before, you used to had to go to the mixer, and then it'll say piano roll, or if you right clicked it or whatever. Right clicking this will you could trim it, Or you can do this to trim it. So if you open this up, okay, it'll say split at playhead, split at location, or repeat selection if you wanted to. So that's pretty nice. Auto zoom, or I wouldn't auto zoom because I don't want to see the notes. What I would do is you could change the color right here. Okay, if you wanted the track, so it is where the number is on the track. The whole track now is blue because default all MIDI notes are going to be green, and you want to organize to different colors. So we can have this to be, I'll make it yellow. Okay, and I'll make this purple. The drum kit, making it purple. Okay, could do that, which is pretty cool and also pretty neat to organize. This is grayed out because I have it muted right now. It's the same as this, but the reason why I have it muted right now, because like I said, I can't use my previous plugins, which I want to use Nexus still, because it's very expensive to get it, and I really want to use Nexus that I was using in Logic Pro 9, but I can't anymore, so that's upsetting. A lot of my plugins, like Synth 1, I can't use that anymore either. I've spent a good $1,000 on several different plugins. I didn't get them all at once, but if I was to get them all at once, that's pretty much how much I spent on everything altogether. That's why I really don't feel like updating them right now. It's very expensive, and I'm not a rich person. I don't dish out $100,000 every week. No. So there's no way I can just get those plugins, and this ain't the only program that I've been getting. I just bought this. I just bought Logic Pro X. So to only find that I can't use my plugins, I will for a while. I won't be using it, but I'll be doing tutorials on it. But I won't be using it for that much for a while. Because of my plugin, so I'll still use Logic Pro 9, but if you want to know more about how to use Logic Pro and stuff, I'll do videos on that, because I can still show you how to use this, the features. Okay, so that's that on that a little bit. If you want software instrumentals like what you did before, or you want a new audio track, this is if you had MP3 files, WAV files, so new audio track. Okay. Or you can search for them. You go to, okay, here. This is your library. It used to be all the way over here on the left. I mean, not on the left, but on the right. So over here on the right, instead of being on the left where it is now. If you want to search your library, search for clean guitar. Okay. Crunch guitar. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to piano roll this. Okay, so we're on this. Okay. Okay, so we're going to assign, okay, we already assigned a track color to this. Okay. Okay. So this is what it sounds like. And this is from what I was playing around with to recreate Average Video Game Nerd's theme, which is James Nintendo Nerd from YouTube. He's very popular in playing classic games, mostly Nintendo games. That's why he calls himself James Nintendo Nerd, the Average Video Game Nerd. And he also does Atari. Sometimes he'll do the very, very first PlayStation games, but not too many. Once in a great while, he'll do N64 games, but so far, mostly what he's done is like Nintendo games and Sega games, mostly those from the very, very first generation type games, Atari and all that stuff. So I'm playing the piano. Okay, so we want this. Okay. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to delete this and add track. We want to add a new audio track. Okay, so move this to where you want it. I want this on the top. I usually have my audio tracks on top, above my MIDI notes, especially if I'm going to put vocals. And you can do thin strum. Okay. Okay, then strum this. So we can do this. Okay, this is the track. So this has to be a MIDI note in order to play this. So we have to switch this because on your track you're adding MP3 files. So we're just gonna delete this and we're gonna track new. Okay, new. Okay, because these are all your. This is your library of all your different instruments, piano. Okay, these are all your different, like software instrumentals. Okay, different ones. Okay, if you had a new, so we're gonna go to track and we're gonna new software. We're gonna do external MIDI actually. Yeah, make it into an external MIDI. Okay, so that you can hear the notes when going to change this. We want this piano or grand piano and strings. Okay, make sure we're selected on this, and we're gonna put this on top. And I'm gonna delete this one on the bottom. Okay, go on top. Okay. Okay, so let's go to track. Actually, you probably need to software instrumental. So I used to do external MIDIs. Yeah, it's software instrumental now. We'll play these. Okay, because I used to in Logic Pro 9 used to go to external MIDI instead. But okay, so we're going to play different ones. We'll play piano. Double click this, and I'll play this. Okay. That sounds okay, but I still like what Nexus had overall. This Synth 1 had over this. It made it easier to create trance songs if I wanted to create techno songs or I wanted to create hardstyle songs. I'm more into like hardstyle, like bass kicks and all that stuff. So I'm more into that. And I can do my drums still if I go to my Ultrabeat. So if we go to Ultrabeat, which this is Ultrabeat, okay? So open this up in this. Okay, this right here. This is your mixer right here, and this has Ultrabeat. So some of this I'm not really sure if because I still have Logic Pro 9 installed, if it's still reading some of the stuff from that. I know it is, but not the plugins that I want to use like Nexus and all that other stuff. But I don't know, because this still looks like it came from Logic Pro 9, so that's why. Correct me if I'm wrong or not, if this also comes with if you're a fresh user of Logic Pro X. So this is Ultrabeat, and you can do like a sequence. If you select this, it'll play pattern. Okay, so this is like dirty drum styles that I got with Vec 2 sound. So that's what it sounds like so far if I had drums in there with the piano. And my other, like this one that's grayed out right here, it's pretty much the same as this, except I had Nexus on it in Logic Pro 9, and now I can't use it unless I get a 64-bit version, which they do have one, but like I said, it's expensive. So I'm going to have to work with what I got if I want to use Logic Pro 10, if I don't have the updated plugins, or I just continue using Logic 9. and stuff for that. That's the main drawback using Logic Pro X. That's the main drawback. And okay, so that's that. And okay, so this is your library, like I said, of different sounds that you have. Techno kits, all this, legacies, basses, all this, all your instruments. The track we're on techno kit. So if I was to add techno kit right here on this, okay, this is drums, and if I wanted to change the way it was played, and actually this won't play anything because it's trying to read plugins that are 32-bit, and it won't play anything there because it won't pick them up. It's trying to, but really, actually, it's not really trying to. It just says that you had those in a previous version, but they're not there anymore. So, and this, if you were in your piano roll, you want the pencil. You want a pencil that's in your piano roll. Okay, this. So adding, since I really don't have anything there, it's going to be pointless if I don't have anything in the piano roll on this. So that's where you would add it if you wanted to, if you had it, or if you went to the piano roll. Okay, let's go back to the piano roll, which is this. Okay, and it should automatically show up right here if I just go to this and switch it to the pencil tool, adding the notes. Or I would have to do this to switch this to the pencil tool, and then go like this. Because this is for the right click. So, okay, so then we're going to go to pencil tool. And it's going to be adding. Okay. Oh, and I'm on this too, so that's not good. Make sure you're on this. And there's nothing there, so. Okay, there we go. Okay, so yeah. So make sure you add the pencil tool to have it go there, and then you can extend it if you want. It'll just go like this. So we're going to mute this. Okay. And to create notes in the way that you want. Okay. So you double click on them to get rid of them. Double click. Or you can highlight all of them and then press delete. So click on the note they were on and it'll highlight them all. Okay. Go back to this. Okay. Okay, and that's the piano roll little bits. On that, you can go to functions and you can change MIDI transform. Still the same as Logic Pro 9. Half note it, cut it. If you want to quantize it, change the speed of the notes. All this does that. Changes the way they sound and the speed of them and how they're played and how fast they're going to be played. You do all this in the MIDI, and you go to transform by going to functions down here in the piano roll, and you want to view MIDI draw, the volume of it, all that stuff, the foot control. Okay, usually I just go to function for all that stuff right there for that. Okay, so that's pretty much the same. A lot of this you're kind of realizing now that it's the same. And okay, so okay, it has multiple, so we're gonna open it up. Okay, see, tempo, and it has multiple tempo variations towards the end of the song, so you could change it or delete all of them and leave it at 120, which I'll just leave it the way that I had it because I wanted it like that, so I'm leaving it at the speed that I had it like that for. Okay, and you click this, see all this above all this, you click this, and you can also change it from here too. So it shows it more at the back towards the end. So you could change it here, and that's pretty nice. It had this too in Logic Pro 9, but it seems like it's a lot easier to access this here. Okay, and if you press Command 0, it'll open up all this. Okay, all your tracks. So this is back to the mixer. Okay, and this is all. See this? This is all from. I guess this is like here. All this is from Logic Pro 9. See, but it won't open up. See, it's saying they don't exist. Like this, it's saying it doesn't exist at all. All this, because those are the plugins that I had. So pressing Command 0 will bring it up. If you had the previous version of Logic Pro still installed, because I'm not really sure on that. Okay. A will zoom in and out. The automation. S solo. M is to mute it if you press M on your keyboard. Those are the shortcuts. D is to open and close that. Markers, if you had any markers, signatures, events, if it had any events on it. Since this track doesn't really have anything, it's not going to really show that. It doesn't really have any events other than notes on it. It doesn't have any controllers or whatever. But in some MIDI files that you download on, if you downloaded some, like many songs nowadays, even the newer ones now, because people are creating those MIDI notes, you can remix songs by using MIDI notes. If you wanted to take parts of a song, you wanted to take a certain part, but you didn't know how to do it, but you knew how to create your own beats around that, you can do that and do that stuff. Download MIDI notes. I'll put a link in the description. Download MIDI files if you want to download MIDI notes and stuff. And this is pretty much it on the interface of Logic Pro a little bit. The basics, getting started, how to use it, what it looks like, the interface, and if you want to get into Logic Pro, if you have a Mac and you want to see what it's all about, this is it, and that's it. Thanks for watching. And please subscribe to my channel for more tutorials. And that's pretty much it on this video. And also don't forget to subscribe to my other two channels, Spinock. Whatever I do at the film school, I upload there because I'm in film school at the Colorado Film School. I will upload on that channel. And sometimes whatever I come up with, whenever I film on my camera, which is my DSLR camera that I use, which is Nexus. Not Nexus, but Nikon. So I use Nikon because Nexus is on my mind because I want to use it here in Logic Pro. Yeah, so I use a Nikon for my camera and I film and stuff, and sometimes I'll use whatever I get out to school for my other projects, like the red camera. I will use that and stuff. So yep. And my gaming channel, I do videos. I've been trying to make that my everyday channel. If you want to interact with me every day, you want to talk to me about games or tutorials, all that stuff is Fantasy Art or Fantasia R or however you want to pronounce it. That's the way it's just the idea that I came up so you can pronounce it Fantasy Art, Fantasia R, or whatever. So however you want to pronounce it. And that's that. And I'll see you guys later in my next tutorial and video that I do on this channel.
You want me to be, feeling so faithless, lost under the surface. Don't know what you're expecting of me, put under the pressure of walking in your shoes. Every step that I take is another mistake to you.